Brian Kennedy, it's called Get On With Your Short Life. And I'm about to get on with the rest of the programme. Now, with the excitement of the World Cup gripping the nation at the moment, our first two guests had a similar hold on the country during the 1984 Sarajevo Winter Olympics. Their gold medal winning routine, for which they achieved an unprecedented perfect score, was quite simply an unforgettable moment. Now, the public revelled in Ravel and their flawless, passionate performance which captured the imagination of the whole world. Well, their careers have pretty well stayed within the realms of the ice rink, and at the end of next month they're hosting this wonderful gala evening of international ice skating in the presence of the Queen as part of her Golden Jubilee celebrations. And I know that this afternoon you're going to give the biggest welcome to Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean. Well, very good to see you. Hi, Christopher. The fans are still here, whether you like it or not. It's so good to see you. And I want to catch up, really, where you've been, because I've sort of lost track of you the last 2 or 3 years. So where are you living these days?
Well, I'm living in Colorado, in the Rocky Mountains. Jill.
It's changed over. I know you get used to it after a while.
The J's, too many J's in my life. Jane's still in the UK.
I live in Sussex, yeah.
And just talk a lot on the phone.
We do. We speak sort of every day or every other day. Yeah.
It's like we never parted, but you know, the phone rings, and I'll ring Jane up just to say, what was that you said? Oh yeah, okay, bye. And that's how we always did. And
you've got two gorgeous little children now. We've actually got a photograph of them. They look angelic, but I'm sure they have their moments.
If you rub that photo, you feel the little bumps on the head. The little devils, Jack and Sam.
Jack and Sam.
They're absolutely gorgeous. See, it's amazing the difference a few years makes, Christopher. I didn't even know you had two children, so that's fabulous.
Oh, I know. Life changed a lot. We hung up our skates about 4 years ago, I think, now.
Yes, our last performance was in May '98 in Canada, actually, and we sort of did a very low-key final performance. We didn't want to do a big, you know, this is it kind of thing.
Farewell.
Because we didn't want the pressure of all that. We wanted to do it kind of just for ourselves and quietly, and hope that we didn't fall over on our very last performance, and we didn't, which was great.
We sort of knew in our hearts that it was our last performance because we didn't make any plans after that.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I have of it is this fuzzy picture that somebody took and sent it to me, and we were just hugging, and nobody knew what that hug meant.
No, because we don't normally hug every time. You know, we normally take a bow, but we hugged on this particular occasion, and it's nice to have even a fuzzy sort of photograph.
Just as a nice personal memory. It did not seem really odd, though, when you literally came off the rink that night and thought, oh gosh, we're not going to skate again.
Yes, because the very next morning, Chris flew out really early back home, and I flew all the way back to England. And I was sitting at home alone, he was at home alone. It was kind of weird because we didn't know then when we were going to see each other again. It was
and within that period, I was packing up my house in England and moving off to America forever, to whatever was going to be, and start a new life, a new family. So it was a big month.
Yeah. But life, it would seem anyway, has remained, you know, within the ice rink, in as much that you choreographed a lot. You were commentating, of course, quite a bit at the Winter Olympics.
Yes, I enjoyed doing that very much. I mean, I wish there was more skating on television that I could talk about. But yes, and at least 2 or 3 times a year we do end up doing work together, which is great. Yeah.
Like, for example, the gala.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, this is a big
this
event, but I suppose so many people in Nottingham in particular really, really would want to see you skate. That's the thing. Are they going to be on the ice?
Well, we have to come and see. The chances are we'll be on the ice. I don't know how much we'll be skating, but we put the show together. We've invited a lot of our international skating friends, and we've got current Olympic champions, you know, the pairs controversy that you saw on TV.
Huge controversy, wasn't it?
We've got the Russian pair
the Russian pair.
And we've got the Olympic dance champions from France. And we've got that young, talented girl, Sasha Cohen, from America, that can do amazing
all sorts of things with her legs.
And just surrounded.
Oh, really, Jane? Oh, fantastic. Yes, and will you be explaining further on the night?
There's a draw right there.
Together with a host of the local skaters and all the British national teams. So we're trying to do a cross-section of all skating from local level to Olympic level.
And of course this rink is very significant because in fact this new centre has got 2 rinks which will allow for practice and maybe a bit of nurturing of talent from here on in.
Yes, when sort of around, was it sort of 94-ish, we were approached by the City Council in Nottingham to help with their lottery bid. And we were so happy that something might happen, but we weren't sure it ever would. And finally, a couple of years ago, it got built. And first they did the big arena, then they added the second one, and now it's this fantastic facility. And it's on the site of the old Nottingham rink that we started at years and years ago.
What, rehearsing at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning?
Yes, and you know...
Driving the Zamboni.
If we'd have had the 2 pads when we were training, it would have been a lot easier, I think, wouldn't it?
I used to drive the Zamboni on at about 2 a.m. in the morning to clean the ice, because we had to make it clean for the people in the morning, because they did figures then. And we had to get these big, heavy ramps, I mean, like, tremendously heavy, and the 2 of us would be lifting them, putting them on, to then guide the Zamboni onto the ice, because it was about this much drop, and Jane would be going, this way, this way, this way. And several times she nearly drove me off the ramp.
Yeah, I got into trouble.
I know, but it is very significant. And in fact, the square around it, they've sort of called it out, not exactly Torvill and Dean Square.
No, what they did, there's like a plaza stroke square right outside this new building. And they wanted to have a name for it. And they asked the people of Nottingham to write in. And what the most popular name was Bolero Square, which was very sweet.
It's very snazzy, actually, isn't it? That's very good. Actually, when you hear good pieces of music, because I'm sure I could take a dipstick amongst the audience, and any time I hear that piece of music, automatically think of your routine. It's so crystallized in my mind. But do you do the same thing with bits of music? Are you subconsciously even thinking, that would be fabulous to skate to?
Yes, I think you just naturally do that, don't you? It's never even though we're not working ourselves performing, you know, we're choreographing, and Chris does an awful lot in America because it's so popular there. He's constantly listening for pieces.
It's ongoing all the time. Music's part of our life, and so you know, it's everywhere around us.
But quite diverse pieces of music, from opera, classical, right to like really funky, you know, the latest pop song kind of thing.
Sure. And you did some ballet actually not that long ago, didn't you?
Well,
that's quite a change.
It doesn't seem that long ago, but it was back in '96, I think. Now.
Oh gosh, that long back.
Yeah,
like
but it was you know, it was a nice experiment for me to work with another element other than just on the ice, and I think that opened up a lot for me too of how I approach things.
I must say, when I watch ice skating, I feel as if that's what it is, just ballet. I don't mean just ballet on ice, but I can see the connection and why you would like to choreograph it. Yeah. Now, let's just talk about, because people are always fascinated about pairing. As you say, we were watching the Winter Olympics and we watched all that controversy. Who was it in your lives that spotted this ideal pairing?
Well, we both skated in Nottingham, and Chris had a previous partner, and there was a very good coach that was coming, especially to teach the 2 of them. Janet Sawbridge was her name. And Janet arrived, and his partner promptly left because they had a big row, and that was the end of it. So he carried on working with this new coach, and they were looking for a girl. And I think Janet sort of spotted me and thought that it would be a good match, but nothing was ever definite. And we started to try out, and I think we both loved it. We both enjoyed the work. And she said...
But it felt right. I mean, does that pairing have to just feel right when you do it?
We just enjoyed doing it. We didn't really think, oh, you know, let's work for and be the national champions, or let's work for the Olympics. And she said to us, well, let me know what you think. You know, let's say we'll give it a month. So we sort of said, oh, okay. And a month went by. Well, have you decided if you're going to skate together? And this went on. And the more we skated together, and the more we started to do well, we were so nervous to say, yes, we will skate together, because we thought something terrible would happen. And it went on for a year, and it just became a joke, because we never did say, yes, we will skate together. But we did, of course. Yeah, sure.
We get the confirmation now. Actually, we have a clip of film. It's actually not from the Olympics. It's from the World Championships that took place in Ottawa the same year there, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's an interesting story behind that, because it was due to be held in the afternoon, but they had a fire in the building, and then it was postponed till 8 in the evening. But that was the night when they were showing it live on TV here, but it came on at midnight, and they just kept showing the broadcast, and there was no commercials around it, so they were filming the Zamboni going round, anything that was happening.
But this is the routine when everyone comes to us and says, we were up until 3 in the morning watching you. It was from
of course. And in this case, I believe that this record has never been equalled. Because was it 13 perfect scores you got?
Yeah, something like that.
Isn't it wonderful, though, still to hold that record?
Yeah, it's amazing for us now when we look back that it hasn't been repeated yet, but we feel happy about we go back down in the record box.
Well, sit back on the sofa and enjoy watching yourselves. It is absolutely magic to watch. I really wish we'd had a camera actually on Christopher and Jane during that, because Jane could watch it a bit, but Chris would not. You're sitting like this. Can you just not watch yourself?
No, it's really hard, and because so many people come up to me and say, that was a great performance, a wonderful performance, and yet when I watch it now, for me it looks old and dated.
Really?
Well, sometimes you see something in a performance like that and you think, oh, I wish I'd have pointed my toe a bit more, my leg was a bit straight, and it's frustrating because you can't do anything about it. It's there. It's
I love your face at the end. You know, you hold that pose and then you go,
Well, that was particularly because it was our very last amateur performance, and that was it, you know, and it was such a pressure to keep from the Olympics and then going a month later to keep focused, to give that level of performance. And then the added thing of it being postponed because of the fire in the building, it was just like dragging on and on. And to get through it and know that we'd skated well, it was just like, oh, yes.
Actually, it is interesting. All the public, of course, I mean, because they saw the magic and the chemistry between you on the ice, they wanted you to be lovers. It didn't matter what you said. They wanted you to be a pair. It's as simple as that.
They did.
Must have been very hard on your respective partners, because it would appear that you have this unique friendship and trust. You had to trust Christopher a lot, that he wouldn't drop you apart from anything else.
Yes.
I dropped her in practice a lot. Got them out of the way.
When we were experimenting. Yeah. No, I mean, we grew up together. We went through our teens together, early 20s together. And, you know, when we started our professional life, then eventually we met the people that we married. Sure. And, you know, they had to come into this sort of weird friendship that we have. And I don't think that will ever change, because I know we've skated together for almost 25 years, and then we still work together now. So I'm sure that will continue for many more years.
And you know each other so well. I mean,
yeah.
And I think it would be easy for partners to get jealous of just that, you know, friendship or, you know, special relationship. Because some people, even in marriage, never get that trust or that uniqueness, really.
Yeah.
I think, you know, both Phil and Jill understand what it was about and what we needed to do. Because they also, when we returned back in 1994, that was a lot of pressure for us, and they saw what it was about and sort of
very
understood,
supportive, weren't they?
And got into that. So there's no jealousy or anything like that on their behalf.
Just a lot of understanding.
Yes.
Yes. Well, yes, I mean, it has to be. I mean, any job really that's intense interferes anyway, doesn't it, in a way, in a relationship?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so fabulous to catch up with you. It really, really is.
Thank you.
So the date then next month is exactly
31st of July.
31st of July.
Yes.
And so it's going to be, you know, the entire opening and naming of the square and the official opening of the centre by the Queen. So it's a very special day for Nottingham.
Followed by the gala with all these champions,
Wonderful.
There's never been a collection of champions in the UK like this group that we've brought together.
We counted, and including ourselves, we will be on the ice presenting. We won't actually be performing. There are 9 Olympic gold medalists from 1980 right through to the current day. Robin Cousins is also performing.
Wonderful. And you just have the job of knitting all of that together now.
Yes.
So it's just a small task, really, between now and then. Anyway, thank you both very much indeed for joining us today. And I hope it's a wonderful gala. I'm sure it will. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher and Jane.